More medications, less health. Something's broken. Traditional medicine manages symptoms, but true healing addresses root cause. I'm Josh Rimini, pharmacist turned healer. At Beyond the Pills, we merge ancient wisdom with modern day science to inspire you through stories of transformation, practical trainings, and holistic healing. Join me and other practitioners as we guide you towards vibrant health, body, mind, and spirit, and move beyond symptom management into true healing. Welcome back to this episode of Beyond the Pills. I'm Josh Rimini, pharmacist turned healer, and today is the day. Today is the day we literally launched our community, and I thought it'd be really fun to bring on the architect, the master behind the scenes in this community page that we're launching. So today we have a very special person, friend, brother of mine, Chase Meyer. He's an entrepreneur, a systems strategist, and a builder of multiple companies across industries ranging from apparel and co-working to automation and AI. For nearly 2 decades, he's been building and obsessed with one thing: figuring out how to make complex businesses run better, smarter, and with a lot less wasted energy. Today, he helps design and build powerful software systems that simplify operations, improve customer experiences, and turn big ideas into practical tools people actually use. He's currently working behind the scenes in the Go Beyond the Pills ecosystem and our community launch, helping bring structure, technology, and scalable systems to a mission that's focused on our mission: deprescribing 10 million unnecessary medications. He loves solving messy problems, building meaningful things, and proving that great systems can still have soul and preferably not require 47 tabs to open and function. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it very much.
Dude, we are live.
We're doing the thing.
Your baby, my idea and vision, is alive and well, and we are ready to go. So I thought it would be so fun to just have a conversation, a riff around this community, how you got here, your backstory, and I wanted to get the community, the users, the people of this podcast. We've just celebrated 600,000 downloads. We just launched this community, and it marks a very specific milestone for us. So thanks for coming on. I just was like, how do I get the word out to the community about what this actually is? Because we've had many conversations as we've gone through this. So just let's go.
Let's go. Where do you want to start?
Dude, I just want to start with, like, who the heck is Chase? Like, you know, we met random, which is always how it works, right? We were at a Joe Dispenza retreat in Cancun about a year ago, and we just kept running into each other randomly, like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to be sitting here with you. And then next day, and there's like, what, 3,000 people at this event. It's like, oh, there you are again. And so we just instantly connected, talk about consciousness and entrepreneurships and family. So we were friends. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, like, there was something then that I said, I don't know what, how, or when something's going to happen, but I know we're supposed to work together. And dude, you built something. And I want to give my version of it, but, like, how in the heck, like, I'm just, like, so floored. We just went through more iterations of this community, but let's just talk about you first. Like, you're in your magic moment with this, and, like, this is so cool. So let's just tell a little bit about Chase and how he got to where he is.
Yeah. So I grew up in Nebraska. So I take it way back. I born and raised in the state of Nebraska, and no, we don't have horses on the road. We use cars like everybody else. But we, but we are very rural, and being rural, it does stereotypically mean that mindsets are fairly rural as well. And I grew up with a fairly shallow mindset, very small. I looked at life through a very narrow lens. um, Luckily, even though I was looking through that lens, I was able to meet some really foundational people in my life, my wife being one of them. My wife and I started dating in high school. Uh, I was 16, I could drive. She was 15, she couldn't. And we basically I started driving her around, driving her to lunch, and we connected and we dated for like 6 years. And we ended up getting married, and we're still married today. So that's a really cool part of my life story. Um, in high school, I started my first business. It was a hemp jewelry business. If you can't tell this about me, I'm a little bit of a hippie, and I'm sitting here barefoot right now in my co-working space because I can, right? And I'm wearing my tie-dye shirt that matches your logo because it just happened that way. It's the universe. But I've always started doing business stuff. I always liked it. I love the idea of business being a game, and a multi-dimensional game. It's my The thing I always say about entrepreneurship in general is the business doesn't actually ever evolve. It's the entrepreneur who personally evolves, and
Mhm.
then that evolution is applied to the business. So the entire structure of entrepreneurship is a personal evolution game. And that is really where I got stuck. I like got locked in. I'm a magnet to that idea. And so throughout my 20s, started building businesses, uh, failing a lot. I didn't have barely any successes from the standpoint of what we define as success, monetary success. But my wife and I continued to evolve our relationship. We evolved our businesses, and it led us to a fateful occurrence to be able to. We got in a car wreck, and we're like, let's just move overseas. So we decided to go live in Thailand for a couple years, and that expanded us. It expanded us in our capabilities, in our mindset. We met a lot of remote business people, and from that point forward, I'm like, okay, remote is where I want to be. No matter what business I have, I want to make sure I have good systems so that I can be remote. And that led itself to our first real business, which was 24 Hour Tees, a t-shirt printing company. And 24 Hour Tees has been my best teacher. We've had it for 13 years, going on 14. It's still active and thriving now, and it's all because of the systems we've made for it. So that it just kept evolving, right? Like the system stuff led to automation. The automation led to an automation company. I apply all the automations to my own businesses, and then it just got where now I'm applying it to everything, other people's businesses as well. And so I naturally gravitate towards that stuff. Last thing I want to say is my wife and I are business partners on our business, which is a kind of a rare thing in modern day. And it's a really great thing to have a life partner and a business partner that we can shoot the shit with. And yeah, it just she supports me and I support her during our endeavors.
Which is so critically important when you are married to
Yeah.
your business partner.
Yeah.
Because I'm an entrepreneur too. I'm in a lot of entrepreneur circles. I've been a member of the entrepreneur organization, and there's a lot of friction with marriages and entrepreneurship. And so
Yep.
when you can make it work, and same with me, Jamie's a business partner, and
Mhm.
she does her thing, and I think it's made us. It's been a lot of that, like, yes, it's been very challenging because we got married 2 weeks after we got married, we started our first business and went
Mhm.
all in, right? The pharmacy was like nobody else had a job. It was like we were no longer W-2 employees to anything.
Mhm.
And it was like looking back 18 years ago was like, how in the heck did that happen? And how did we stay? Like, and I was the like the we live 7 blocks from the store, and like it was this whole thing because then I became the community president at the same time, and it was like if we had gotten pregnant at that time, it would have been like, I
Mm.
couldn't have made it.
Too
So
much.
very good appreciation when you have a strong relationship that can hold both of those. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you lived in Thailand for a couple years. Like, I'm almost kind of like jelly a little bit, or like,
It
man,
was great.
and we've had this conversation. You also have that relationship with your family that, like, you just go. Like, you were
Mhm.
just spending a couple weeks in Florida. And
Yep.
you just like we were literally you were building on the beach with this community. You knew when the launch was going to be, and we were doing it in real time. And you literally embody what you said, like working remotely and bringing your family along and having them like be okay with like the the nomad but stable, right? It's
Mhm.
not like so I just I admire that in you because you're like, yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna move to Spain, maybe Mexico. It's not a while. I'm like, dude, you rock. Um, I love it. I love it so much.
Life's
Let's
too short.
yeah, let's dive into what in the heck did you build with me in this
Yeah.
community?
Well,
I want
man,
people to hear it from you, like
yeah.
the and I want people to understand what's possible when you have the right who's in the room and the right
Mm,
essence and the right energies and the right frequencies. Because people listen to that in this podcast. They understand the consciousness side of things. We bring it right to the table. And so my vision was I knew that I we needed to have a Beyond the Pills community. We had about 500,000 downloads on the podcast. I'm like, we have to bring people to doing something, to being in community because community is healing. Community is where people go, and it was there. And so I was like, you know what? We're building a community, and I want people to get access to the things that I know and everything I do one on one for the last 20 years. I want people to understand that they can get this in the community. And I'm going to start with why can't I just get them to ask me any question they want and I answer it for them? That was literally it. And we started with a Zoom room which says, all right, if anybody shows up, they can ask me anything and I will give them my experience in all the realms that I have, right?
mhm.
And that started to be like, all right, well, maybe. And then we had a conversation and it became what it is now. So I want you to tell people how that evolved and
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you
Well
get?
well, I think I've already told you that you're getting the best of me in the sense that it took me 25 years of failure and successes to get to the current state of where I am, how I think, how I connect with things, how I apply business strategy and principles, marketing and systems. And I think that my goal was to take the amazing stuff you already have, hundreds of podcasts. You have this massive archive of something that most people don't have and they don't do. They don't put that upfront investment, especially when they're not getting paid to do it. And um, I wanted to take that and I wanted to capitalize on it on your behalf so that this idea of asking questions and answers could be expanded upon. Because I think it's really important for people to be able to come to you and ask about their health needs. And I think it's also an interesting idea that if you have 1,000 people asking a question in a week, you're not going to be able to answer all of them that week. So we should in turn determine what's the most priority question. What's the most popular question? So we started out with that basic framework of we're going to allow people to ask questions. We're going to have a simple search system, and if the question doesn't exist, we're going to use some newer technologies like AI to help us refine the question so it's more easily understood for other people. And then once the question is asked, you can go and vote on the questions that you want answered most. So the idea was to raise the most popular questions, raise the most important questions to the top of the list so that you would know what really matters to people most. That was the first version of the thing we built. And then it expanded upon that when we realized how many answers already exist in your episodes and how could we make sure that there was a question answer pairing per episode. So we kind of dove into that.
Which became like, I don't know, the 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 consciousness part of this is like patterns on top of patterns on top of patterns. And so every single time. And I love the connection there because my 25 years of experience in everything I've done has never gotten to the place where like people can get the value from that. Like I have a 20-year experience with magnesium and I want to be
Mm,
able to share with people because if they call me or they come in or they find me, like I have those deep, beautiful conversations. And then part of me is like, how do I get one to many
mm,
so we can give value? And how do we build that with the integrity and also not put it into the place where I'm completely overburdened, right?
mhm.
And so I want you to show people, and maybe we can do a screen share at some point
Sure.
to like literally show people, but I want you to tell them what is possible today
Yeah.
with what we have in front of us because there's so much value that we've created here. And then
Yeah.
I created this wellness made simple. It's dropping next week of like when you join the community and you want to get those resources, that $95 a year is so packed. And then I'm gifting these 3 supplements that I've linked to massive health transformation by done right. And we're dropping the science and the data to that next week. So it's I can't wait to show people what they get when they join. But let's show them, let's like you can ask a question. We know this. You're gonna
Yeah.
get a real answer. It's
Yep.
published by me. It's not some AI bot. It's referencing every single episode and every single thing that I've ever done
Mhm.
into their question and allows me to surface that question and answer it in real time. So
Yep.
that's super valuable in itself. You were beta testing this with your friends and my friends and anybody that's listened to our podcast, which we know is a fair amount of people at this point. And I'm very proud of that, not because we have listeners, but because they're getting value. But now we're giving this massive value in front of us. I didn't put that in place. You did,
Mm.
but you put the value into it for me because you said, Josh, like how many people go to a podcast, listen to it, remember something they thought they liked, but then they have no idea where it came from.
Yep.
So tell
Yeah.
people a little bit about exactly what that is.
Yeah. So what started as that question and answer framework evolved to what actually exists inside of a podcast episode that is valuable for the listener. And when I was having a conversation about this with my wife, she said some of her favorite podcasters that she listens to, they very frequently mention resources that someone should look up or someone should do or someone should have as a thing in their life, a new habit, but that's not listed anywhere. The resource isn't linked, and sometimes it is, but most of the times it isn't. There's also that concept of I want to be able, when I listen to a podcast, to identify the most important things to me in the podcast so that I can quickly jump to that section of the podcast and listen to it. So the entire system we built is designed to extract the most valuable information, questions and answers, resources, and the experts that are associated with it, and then directly link that to this exact spot in the podcast where those things are highlighted and those things are talked about, giving the user a really great experience to be able to click a link, jump to the audio, listen to it, be playing, and then they can even go to a different page on the website and the audio follows them throughout the website. So it's an audio player that continues to go. And if they go to another podcast and hit play, that one takes over and it saves the spot of the old one. So it's designed to be an intelligent, interactive podcast engine that not only links people there when there's a question and answer, but it also allows them to have an actual conversation with the podcast. So they can use an AI tool that we've built into it that allows them to ask any question they want or a question that is pre made that will digest the entire podcast and bring back the response with the specific timelines they can click on to listen to that section. So yeah, it's really like from my perspective, it is what all podcast websites should be. It's not just record the podcast, send it out, and hope someone listens to it. Now it's record the podcast, send it out, and give people a place to digest it on their time.
I love that. And time is so valuable these days, right? We always say we don't have enough time. And so I love the long form content that we create and I love having the conversations. And so for me, it's super special because people can engage in the community. Not one, you can listen right there or listen to wherever you like to listen to. Their links are right
Mhm.
there. You can ask any question. Like that's super empower. That's super empowering for people because what I really wanted out of this community is where does someone go to ask a question about their health, wellness, healing, all the topics we talk about? We have experts and we have a lot of experience that I've done my own journey work with, right? In this last 25 years. So it's this culmination of your 25-year journey, my 25-year journey. You're on the back end making all this stuff amazing. And you can literally have an an authoritative an authority in these spaces of clinical nutrition or whatever it is. It's like all there. It's like ask the question, get a real answer. And what I love about it is like it's 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 weird, but it's like, but wait, there's more, like there is like now people, if they join, they can get access to the professional grade supplements that I've used. They can get access to member resources. We're building this thing to be the hub for
Mhm.
Beyond the Pills for this community. And we're not stopping like every day. How many hundreds of tools have we put in there to date? It's on the dashboard. It's like
It is,
something like 350 iterations.
at least. Yeah.
So we've been building this thing, and I'm floored because let's say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because that's a nice number for people to put their in. What would have this taken in your time and energy
Mm,
to build an app like this? Like,
mm.
yes, you are a wizard. I call you that all the time because you are. But what's possible and what you've created in a very short period of time, to me, the value is, if I had put a team of developers on this for 6 months, they might have charged me $200,000
Mm.
to build what we already have that's already expanding at exponential rates.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in a really interesting time where not if we have refined knowledge and skill sets, we can use the technology of today that in this specific situation is AI development. So I'm able to use my knowledge and skill set with a combination of AI development to develop somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 75 times faster than if I were to do it just hard coding uh, code. And the reality is not just it's like an exponential growth because we can just compound on the features and cross link features and make a really beautiful experience. So to your point, yeah, if you were to do this 2 years ago, easily hundreds of thousands of dollars and 6 months to 12 months depending on how many developers were involved. So we're at a really great time to have a very beautiful product, very functional product, not just for all your listeners and your community, but also for you and your team. The intention is to make it easier for you to give people the most value.
And that's what's so I love when things are aligned, right? Because like you're working on the back end. We talk all the time because you're like, I love these projects. They're so fun. This is what I love to do. And I'm like, go do, let's do it. What else can we do? So I always just say, like, I'm 98% visionary. I'm like, Chase, what's possible? He's like, yeah, we could do that. Cool. And then I turn around and you're like, well, I did this, and this instead because I felt it was a little bit better. And then all of a sudden we're like, whoa, what just
Mhm,
happened? Like we already have the resources for the professional grade supplements, which needs a professional relationship. So when
mm,
you join Stay Well Institute, you can join these things. We're going to do retreats. We're going to have member resources. We're going to have member everything, right? All I'm going to do now is play in my community to get people more and more value. And the lift for everything is so little now. It's like
mhm.
everything I've ever wanted to do to get out there for people is actually beyond what I expected. Like I
Mhm.
thought what we create already today, which you can sign up, community.gobeyondthepills.com. Like I thought that was like 3, 4 years down the road. Like
Mm.
literally. I was like, well, I'll start with a Zoomer and people can ask me questions and I'll figure some stuff out. That's how we
Mhm.
started the community. And so we have, and it gives people, I want people to get deeper access to our guests, to our speakers who are zones of genius in their own little field. So now we're developing this to, here's the resources you get today, and it's just going to keep building and building. So all the products, all of my 20 years of relationships that I've built in this wellness side of things and healing, whether it's retreat centers, products, services, tech, we're building the resource vault so everybody gets access.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And one thing I think that it's really important to mention is there is a level of you're paying 95 bucks a year to get really advanced things, but you don't have to, right? You can just go to the current community
Yeah.
app and you can ask a question, and all you have to do is sign up for a free account. Sign up for a free account allows you to ask a question and get the responses. And also in your profile, you can set up notifications. You can subscribe to specific topics that you want to be notified about whenever a new resource or question and answer or episode comes out related to that. And then if you want to take it further and you want to have social network style discussions like what you would find on Facebook, where you can post a question and someone can reply and you can react, that's built in to the paid community. The extensive resources, like the crazy deep stuff, is built into the paid community, but there are free resources available. And there's things like that it's a nice combination. So if
Yeah.
someone doesn't want to pay 95 bucks to be part of the community and they don't want to get the supplements as that free giveaway, then they could just be a free user. We've had many people sign up as a free user as we're in beta testing right now.
Yeah. And I, it was important for both of us. Like we got to the beginning, we're like, what can we give to people? And that was my, like, anybody in the universe can ask me a question and I'm going to give you an answer. It also allows us to organically understand what the community wants. Because if 1,000 people ask a question, I can bring on a resource in another podcast that I hadn't been able to, because I the community is now getting to build the community, but they also they get what they want out of this
Yeah.
now, not just me coming up and having great people come on. So it's this feed forward system where I love having win for you, win for the community, especially growing and building and celebrating the growth that we have. Like we just talked today about like how we're going to do lives. So now we can have challenges, we can do lives. It's going to go direct onto the YouTube, and like there's so much here already that I'm just like so excited. I know
Yep.
that the goal for this episode was literally to tell people what's here today,
Mhm.
how they can get further into their journey in their beyond the pills experience to heal even deeper by beyond listening. And I want you to tell people what's in store, because every week we're going to post around every week what's new to the community, what did we just add, because every time I blink there's something new. So we're
Mhm.
going to be notifying people that way, but in your mind,
Mhm.
like what is possible with
And
this?
there's so many things that are possible. Part of that comes back to you and your team and what you define as important. But um, I imagine a future for this community app that allows your podcast experts, the guests that join you on your podcast. I imagine a future where you're able to very easily them promote the offerings that they have to people, how they can help people, their backgrounds, and then maybe even potentially allow them to directly answer their own questions that are asked by other people, which is a really interesting concept. We already have part of that in place. The experts are linked to the episodes they talk in, and they have some select resources, but we're going to expand upon that and let the expert add the resources as they want to. Also, the community conversation topic is really interesting because if I can have a true full fledged conversation with a dozen people on one question or one episode or one resource, then you start becoming really transparent. You start allowing people to really truly say what's on their mind and express themselves and have other people provide feedback and help. So it's not just the Josh show, right? It is
Yeah.
you're a major aspect of it. You're the foundational starting place, but now it's allowing other like-minded people to meet, connect, and become more deep too. And I think that's conscious collective consciousness stuff. I think that's a very positive win. We're also gonna, like you said, do lives. There's a couple iterations of how that might work, but if I want to be able to subscribe to a notification when you're going to do a live, I should be able to get an email and a text message notification at a certain time frame, right? That should be my preference, and it's I don't want it to annoy me. I only want to subscribe to the stuff that matters to me. So all of those things have to be able to be edited by the user themselves. And yeah, man, the resources themselves, like right now we have basic resources, but I think we need to expand upon it. I think we need to break the resources up into really micro categories, make it really easy for people to search for resources and finds the ones they want. And again, do the question and answer on resources as well. So this thing can get as deep as we want it to get, but I also want to make sure that it's simple for users. I want to make sure that we're not overwhelming them with features just to have shiny things. I want it to be everything is very intentional. Everything is very good user experience. That's kind of my core thing these days. If I can't build something with a good user experience, I don't even want to build it. So yeah, man, I see the future of this being really, really beautiful.
Well, I think you touched on some really cool pieces that we really had connection with, and also um really at the forefront of building this, because I don't love building something and then not having it be valuable. So making it simple, making it easy, making it valuable, having the user experience really high. I know that's a really big deal for you and for me. But also, like, the community to me, and it's always been this before we even built anything, was once you opt in, there is no selling in here.
Right.
We have plenty of offerings. It's just for me, I don't love selly thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to invite people, and if they choose to interact, they choose to buy, we're going to get the best quality on the planet for the price. I'm going to be driving this for the community. So now every time I get on a podcast chat before we decide if they're going to be a good fit, I go, what's in it for the community? Like, what can you offer that you can't offer anywhere else? Because we're in this to win it. We're in this together, you know? And so I love that you and I are all on the same page. And when we say good user experience, what you created was you can get notified in any way you want. So I'm never gonna have to feel like I'm pushing anything. It's just you decide. It's your choose your own adventure here,
Yeah.
which is gonna be so fun because now the resources will have we're going to create those things where they have the categories. If somebody wants a new resource, they can ask the question and I'll get it. Like, it's
Mhm.
infinite. Like, that's
Yep.
why I love this thing, because we're working well together. We're doing this for the community first.
Mhm.
And, that $95 contribution is going back 100% in the community. We're
Mhm.
building this so we can build this, you know?
Mhm.
And so it makes so much it feels good,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
it does.
looks good because you made it look good, and it works good, and it's working great. And so join the community in any way that you want, ask questions, and now we get to have fun.
Mm,
Like, healing can be fun. It's not all hard work. And, like,
mm,
there's so much I can give back to this community now in so many different ways that I already have available to me. So the best is yet to come, but yes, here we are.
I didn't show anything. I don't know if that's something you want for today or another
Well,
time.
you know what? We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna do that. Like, let's do
Good.
that, and we'll post it. We'll say, all right, here's the user experience.
Yep.
We'll
Good.
post it in the community and we'll post it in the podcast. But right now, I want I want people to just get the value and
I
then
agree.
and go from there. So, dude, I I can't believe that we've already got to the place we are right now, and it feels really good in so many different ways and so many different layers and dimensions. All I gotta say is like from like really bottom of my heart, you're amazing and thank you so much.
Dude, thank you very much. I appreciate you trusting that I could create something like this. And when you first mentioned we were going to work together, I didn't believe you at all. And here we are.
Well, see, I am a seer. I see things and like I knew it. It's just like I don't know how to explain it, but it's gonna happen. And like here we are. Like we're creating
Yep.
something massive.
Yep.
And you do this for other people. I want people
Yep.
to know that like what we've created, if you like it, you like to work in other categories of businesses. So,
Mhm.
we're also working on this way to where you can work with other people. So I just want people to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to check out any of my current businesses or my little side projects I have some cool little things I'm building. You can just go to my website, which is my name, chasemeyer.com. And I'd love to connect.
And when this episode drops, you're going to be a resource expert
Oh,
automatically.
what?
And all your
Yeah.
stuff is going to be in our
I
stuff.
forgot about that. That's good.
I love it. That's a wrap, guys. This was fun. Go to the community, sign up. It's free. There's a super good gift if you want to get the deep resources, and we'll see you on the next episode. Until next time, stay well. Thanks for joining me today on Beyond the Pills. If our mission to deprescribe 10 million unnecessary medications resonates with you, share this episode, subscribe, and leave a review. Whether you're a practitioner or someone ready to reclaim your health, visit rx2wellness.com for free resources to begin your journey. Together, let's go beyond the pills and co-create a world of vibrant health and true healing. Until next time, live better and stay well.